Okay, good morning. So you can use your blanket or pillow, whatever you need to prop yourself up. We're going to come into easy seat. So you can choose to cross your ankles or place one shin and ankle in front. And then with your strap and your blanket, just make sure that you have everything towards middle to front of your mat. Welcome. Good. And then once you have yourself situated and settled, place your hands wherever are comfortable and go ahead and soften your gaze. I was like, wait a minute. No. I was like, that's not Ines. I saw the blonde hair and was like, hey, no. Hi, welcome. Go ahead and close your eyes and settle in. Begin to send your focus to your breath. You're shadowing today. Yes. Hi, sorry. Do you have anything I need to be aware of with your practice? No? Okay. Welcome. My name's Richelle. And then if you haven't already, begin to slow down and deepen your breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. Feel for space in the body as you inhale. And then as you release that breath, a softening. So you can come over here and sit in the corner. Yeah, grab yourself lots of props. And as you're settling into this space, take a moment to just notice. Notice the sounds around you. Notice your physical body and the placement on the mat. And take a moment and check in with your emotional, your mental, your spiritual body. As we begin to invite movement and move and explore, notice the sensations that come up. Try to bring an intention into every placement on your mat, where your hands meet the mat, where your feet meet the mat, your knees, your full front body, your back body. So there's a quote, or part of a quote I want to read to you. And the words are as follows: it only takes a moment or a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still, and just like that, something in me softens and settles and makes space for imperfection. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still, and just like that, something in me settles, softens, and makes space for imperfection. So as you begin to move into your practice this morning, okay, allow those spaces of imperfection, those moments of acceptance, for whatever your body is in the posture. It's those moments of imperfection that kind of teach us and give us lessons. And I honestly can't imagine how kind of routine and boring my life would be if everything was perfect. It's those moments where you settle in and you feel kind of at one, when you know you've kind of hit a really sweet spot. When we move through those spaces of imperfection, those sweet spots feel so much sweeter. So notice those moments as you begin to move. You can stay with your eyes closed, okay? Or softly open them. Begin to fold forward, walk your hands forward towards the top of the mat, come into a forward fold. Once you've gone as far as you can go, release your forearms, let them soften, release the back of the arms, let the head release. Find space in the back of the neck, and let the whole back body be open and expansive, and start to send your breath into that space. So imagine hands are resting there and you're breathing into the warmth of those hands. Every inhale, it's almost like you're lifting, filling the hands up. Every exhale, a softening. It's like giving your body a little hug. And notice whatever sensations you notice. Stay in this forward fold and start to reach your fingers farther forward. Okay. And then once you've gone as far forward as you can, notice if you've lifted off in the sit bones. Press the mat away from you to send your sit bones, your hip bones back down to your mat. Beautiful. Stay in the forward fold. Begin to lift your gaze and then walk your hands to the right towards the mirror. Okay, go as far as you can go, and then once again, settle. Let the back of the heart settle. Sorry, to the left. That was my bad. Okay, use your hands to reset, okay, your sit bones, especially your right sit bone. Try to press the mat away from you. Try to press the ground away from you. Good. Beautiful. Begin to lift your gaze and then take your right hand and then line it up with your back hip. Right hand, left hand? Left hand, sorry. Good. Once it's there, press the ground, the mat away from you to lift your chest and torso up, and then float right hand to the ceiling. Turn the palm to face the mirror, and then bend the extended arm to allow you to get deeper into your side bend. Good. Okay. Now once you're in your side bend, notice Notice if the right sit bone starts to lift. Use the hand that's on the ground to press the ground away from you to take the sit bone back down. Good. Use an inhale to bring the torso up and an exhale to bring that top hand across the body to the outside of the opposite knee. Good. Now bring the left fingertips behind you, almost like you're in line with your sacrum, your tailbone, and then press into the mat to lift up out of the pelvis and draw the back shoulder behind you. So coming into a spinal twist here. Gaze can be wherever feels good to you. Take an inhale here, and then use your exhale to unravel, come back to center, switch the cross of your legs. Okay, once you're there, fold, walk the hands forward, let yourself settle, forearms soften and release, back of the neck opens. So find these moments of softness and settle in. Let your breath fill the back body, fill the back of the lungs, the side of the waist as you inhale. And then as you exhale, a softening, a releasing. Begin to walk and crawl your fingers forward, and then use that to press the ground, press the mat away from you to send your sit bones back towards the mat. Mm-hmm. Begin to walk your hands over now to the right. Good. Go as far as you can go, and then allow yourself once again to settle, to soften. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. If your left sit bone begins to kind of lose that connection to the mat, use your hands, press the ground away from you to send it back down. Good. Okay. And then lift the gaze. Line the right hand up with the line of the hip. Good. Once you have that, press the ground away from you, and then bring the left palm to the ceiling. Turn the palm to face the exit, and then fold. Coming in. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. If you notice your left sit bone lift once again, press the right hand, press the ground away from you to take the opposite sit bone down. Good. Use an inhale to lift the torso, and then an exhale, bring the top hand to the outside of the right knee. Bring the right fingertips behind you, press into the ground to lift up out of the pelvis, and then draw that same shoulder behind you. Let the gaze be soft, let the neck be soft. So we're not so concerned about looking behind us. Find a neutral space. Good. And then use an inhale to lift and extend through the spine, and then an exhale to release. Let that go. Come on to your, oh, nope, stay here, sorry. Okay. Bring your hands to your knees. Okay, and we're going to use the knees to kind of support the movement as it gets bigger. So use an inhale, start to lift the heart, draw the upper arm bones back. You can even think of tilting the sit bones back. And then an exhale, draw the belly in, chin draws to your chest. Let your spine round towards the back of the mat. And then inhale, move with the heart, lead it forward, upper arm bones, draw back, chin or tip of the nose to the ceiling. Exhale. Kind of curve and draw in. Keep moving through those two spaces. Use your inhale to send the heart forward. Use an exhale, draw the belly in, round. Use the hands on your knees to allow your body to really go back. Good. Mm-hmm. Beautiful, guys. Okay, flow through this one more time. Come to a neutral seat and switch the cross once again with your legs. Bring your hands to your front of your knees, and then begin to move again. Use your inhale to lift the heart, draw the upper arm bones back. Exhale, round. Okay, really lean back, even lift, like allow your knees to lift. Start to invite a lot more movement and fluidity, okay, between these two postures. Good. Beautiful, guys. Flow through this 2 more rounds of breath. Once you've completed those rounds of breath, come to a neutral seat and then come onto your hands and knees. You can use a blanket underneath your knees or your pillow for support. Okay, good. Knees are a little bit behind the hip bones, hands are a little bit in front of the shoulder. And let's continue to move with cat-cows. So we did seated cat-cows. Now let's bring this into hands and knees. So use your inhale, draw the upper arm bones back. Collarbones come open, chin, tip of the nose to ceiling, sit bones, hip bones towards the ceiling. And exhale, you press into the palms to round the spine, chin to chest, hip bones to ribs. Use the belly to help you. Keep moving at your own pace. Use your breath to guide you. Good. Beautiful, guys. And then begin to invite whatever kind of fluidity and movement feels good to you. You can kind of move side to side. You can go in circles. You can stay and do exactly what you're doing right now. Beautiful. Okay, flow through one more round with whatever you're flowing through. Good. And then come into stillness. Okay. Tops of the feet down or toes tucked under. Tilt the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Good. Stay there and stay with your hips exactly where they are. Start to walk your hands forward. Take your hands wider than the mat. Walk all the way forward and then either chin down or forward, forehead down, coming into puppy. Good. Okay. Once you're in your puppy, let the back of the heart release and soften. Good. Beautiful. Send the breath into the side body, so feel for the sides of the ribs, the lungs, expanding the side of the waist expands on your inhale, and then almost like a hugging back in on the exhale. Good. Beautiful. One more round of breath here. And then use your inhale, start to lift your gaze, lift your head away from the mat, walk your hands back, okay? And take your knees back to a neutral space. Tuck the toes this time. Good, okay. Take your hands about a hand print or 2 in front of you, so you're in kind of this modified table. Good. Okay, and then start to press into the mat, round the spine, and as you do that, use an exhale to send your sit bones towards your hips. Let yourself settle for a moment. You're in a kind of modified child's pose. And then on your next inhale, lift the gaze, lead from the chest, drag yourself forward with your hands, coming into kind of a modified cat. Good. Use an exhale, round through the spine, press into the mat, send your sit bones back towards your heels. And then use your inhale, gaze forward, try to drag yourself forward, heart leads this movement. Exhale, we round and send the sit bones back. And we inhale to bring us out of the posture. Flow through at your own breath pace. Good. If you need to readjust your hands so that they're a little bit closer to your knees, go ahead and do so. Okay, as soon as you settle back with your sit bones, like right away, start to go into drawing yourself forward. Good. So we round to go back. Okay, and then we lead from the heart. We drag ourselves forward. So we go into a modified cow to come forward. Good. Do that one more time through. Beautiful. And then bring yourself back up. Keep your hands where they are. Keep the toes tucked under. Lift your hips up and back. Come into your downward dog. Once you're in your downward dog, you can reposition your feet, reposition your hands. Maybe you take them wider. Good. Activate the hands, so claw the finger pads. Good. Try to slide the mat away from you. Outer arm bones revolve down. draw the low belly in, draw the ribs in, send the sit bones up towards the ceiling, inner thighs back, inner heels down. And then begin to invite movement here. You can pedal, bend the knees, shift the hips side to side, yes and no with the head, whatever kind of feels good for you. Beautiful. And then begin to find your way back into stillness. Once you're there, walk your hands to your feet. So you'll be at the back of your mat. And then come into ragdoll. So hold on to opposite elbows. Let yourself soften here. You can bend the knees to find a bit more softness. Good. Okay. Inviting space between the width of the feet will actually help you settle into the pose a little bit more. Good. Now staying in your ragdoll, and with that bind, try to move the upper arm bones away from one another and then reach the elbows down towards the mat. So the arm bones, the upper arm bones move away, the elbows move down. And just notice, feel whatever you feel. Good. And then kind of release that engagement there. Keep the bind. And then start to come up. So we roll all the way up until the forearms are above us and the elbows are facing towards the ceiling. Good. And then do that same thing. So draw the low belly in first, draw the ribs in, and then try to move the upper arm bones away from one another. Try to reach the elbows up towards the ceiling. Good. Beautiful. On your next inhale, go ahead and release that. Let that go. Shake it out. Good. As you exhale, and then inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, take the bind again, but the opposite way. So sometimes I have to do the first way to figure out what is my opposite way. Good. Once you have that, let yourself settle for a moment. Maybe your forearms rest on the top of your head. And then connect to your belly. Draw the belly in, draw the low ribs in. Okay. Think of trying to move the upper arm bones away from one another, and then extend and reach the elbows up. And just notice on this side. Notice if it feels a little bit different on the other side. Good. Beautiful. Okay. Soften. And then take a nice deep inhale. Lift from the heart. Let your elbows and heart guide you. Exhale, fold. Come all the way into your ragdoll. Once you're down, have a moment of softness, and then once again, go into that engagement. So try to move the upper arm bones away from one another. Try to reach the elbows down towards the mat. Okay. Knees can be soft, beautiful place to be. Belly stays drawing in. Good. Okay. Take a moment of softness here. Maybe let yourself sway side to side. Good. And then release the fingertips to the ground. Go ahead and walk your hands towards the top of the mat. Come back into your downward dog. Good. Okay. Shift your heart forward. Shift your weight forward, and then lower all the way down. Take a moment. Tops of the feet down. I'm going to move everyone's straps. So you're coming forward and then onto your belly. Camille, you're coming forward and then onto your belly. Okay. And then if your strap is beside you, don't bother to move because I will come and bring your strap beside you. But if it's not with your strap beside you, go ahead and bring the strap, okay, in front of you. And then open it up and place your hands about shoulder width apart. Good. Okay, and I'll get into this as well. Once you're here, you can send your gaze down, press the tops of the feet down, hip bones down and forward, and then begin to lift from the back of the heart, lift the arms, and then bend the elbows back so the strap goes almost to your upper back, and then extend, and then release down as you exhale. So we lift, we bend the elbows, draw them behind you, we reach them forward, and then we release. Keep moving through this. Okay, just notice what this begins to wake up. Good. Okay, bend to wherever your bend is. Be mindful of the feet. Press the tops of the feet down. Hip bones down and forward. Good. Okay. Now the next time through, lift from the back of the heart, lift up. Okay. So the arms and strap is off the ground, and then bend the elbows back, and then reach the hands forward. Okay. What I want you to start to play with here is trying to split, keep going through this, try to split the strap apart with your hands. Good. Don't lose the integrity of your feet. Tops of the feet down, hip bones down and forward. Good. Do that one more time. Okay, so we're staying up, working the back body. Good. And then release, let go of the strap, come onto one cheek, let that go, bend the knees, sway the feet side to side. Okay. All right, release the feet down, set up your feet once again, tops of the feet down. Okay, press especially, baby toes side down, hip bones down and forward. Draw the belly in. Okay, now this time, okay, your palms are facing down. Let's turn the palms up. Okay, so the strap rests on the palms. Okay, good. Now, hold on to the strap. Try to split the strap apart. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is keep the gaze down. All right. Okay, if you're unsure, you can watch me. I'm going to do it kneeling so that everyone can see. When you begin to lift up, you're just lifting your arms up first. So lift from the inner forearm, inner hand up. Okay. Take a peek at your hands. If your hands turned out, readjust. It may mean you lift up this much. That's okay. Good. And breathe, breathe. Hold this and breathe. Send the gaze down, send the gaze down. Yep. Good. And then release that. Let that go for a moment. Okay. So reset once again. So draw the outer hands. Okay. Draw the thumbs down towards the ground. Okay, this is where we get caught in thinking we need to lift as high as we can. Lift from the inner hand, okay, keep that lifting towards the ceiling and lift up. It may mean you lift a centimeter, that's okay. Good, 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 good. And breathe, 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 breathe. And release, let that go. Bend the knees, turn your cheek the opposite way, and then sway hip side to side. Good, okay, you can let go of the strap. Beautiful. Okay, release the feet down. You can start to turn, tip of your nose down. Bring your hands alongside your body and press yourself back into your downward dog. Good. Once you're there, float the right heel towards the ceiling and then step the foot in between your hands. Okay. Use a blanket or a cushion. Bring the knee down. Back knee down. Good. Once it's down, keep the top of the feet, keep the toes tucked under, lift the knee, slide your foot back, and then slide onto the top of the knee. Good. Okay, so if you don't have a blanket or a pillow, I do recommend because we are going to be here. Good. Now let your hips get heavy for a moment. Let them settle. I notice whatever sensation comes up. Now with that heaviness, start to squeeze the knees towards one another, okay? On your inhale, extend the heart forward, come onto your fingertips, and then as you exhale, shift the hips back, walk the hands back with you. Stay here. Once you're back, so we're not sitting right down, you're sending the hip bones back, start to flex the front foot. Good. And then try to drag the heel back. So we're getting into back of the legs. If any tightness is hanging out there, you might feel this. Make sure that foot is flexed. So draw the toes towards you. Good. Use your inhale, extend the heart forward. And then exhale, bend the elbows and fold. Do that again. Inhale, extend the heart forward. Exhale, bend the elbows and fold. Good. Again, inhale to extend. And then we exhale to soften. Stay here. Okay, keep trying to drag the heel back. Good. Okay. Now this time, inhale, send your gaze forward, shift your hips forward, come back into your low lunge, and then exhale, shift the hips back, come into your half split or runner's lunge. Use an inhale to shift forward, and we begin to move through these two postures. using the breath. Okay. So allow some fluidity to find its way into these two movements. Good. Soon as your foot lifts up, flex the foot and start to drag the heel back when you come into your runner's lunge. And then wherever you are, flow through it one more time, and then we'll all meet in low lunge. Once you're back into your low lunge, walk your hands back, lift the back knee, step back, downward dog. Other side. Okay, so float left heel towards the ceiling, step the foot in between your hands. Okay, once again, back knee releases. Okay. Find the soft spot above the knee. So lift the knee up, snuggle the foot back, and then release back down and slide it forward. Good. Let the hips get heavy. Let the belly soften. Let everything soften for a moment. Beautiful. Okay, and then use your inhale. Squeeze the knees towards one and extend the heart forward. Use an exhale, begin to shift the hips back. So we come into the same thing we did on the opposite side. So let your hands walk with you. Soon as the foot starts to lift off the mat, draw the toes towards you. Good. And then once you're there, try to drag the heel back. We're staying here for a moment. Okay, these are also the moments of stillness that are super important to find in our practice. Good. Okay. And then stay here. Inhale, extend the heart forward. And then exhale, bend the elbows, soften and fold. Do that 2 more times. Use your breath to guide you. Inhale, extends. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Okay. And then on your next inhale, shift your weight forward, move from the hips, come into your low lunge. Use an exhale to shift you back into this posture. Soon as the foot lifts up, flex and drag. And then we inhale, we move out. And then we exhale, we go back. Good. Flow through this 3 more times. Use your breath pace. Notice. Okay. Keep trying to drag the heel back once you go into it. Good. Beautiful. And then once you've completed your 3 rounds, you will find your way back into your low lunge. You lift the back knee, and you go back to your downward dog. Good. Settle here. Beautiful, guys. Okay. Inhale, the right heel towards the ceiling. Okay. Step the foot in between your hands. Keep the back knee lifted this time, and then revolve the back heel down. Walk your hands to the inside of the foot, almost like you're on a diagonal with your back hip. Good. Okay. So we're in a funky diagonal. Press into the outer edge of the back foot and heel, and then use your hands, try to press the mat away from you to send your sit bones and hip bones back. Good. Okay, so elbows will bend if that's accessible to you. Good. Okay. Notice the front knee. If the front knee is drawing towards your midline, try to press the inner knee away from you. Move in this posture from the sit bones. Okay, send the sit bones back. You can even go more on a bit of an angle here. Yes, there you go. Okay, yes. Beautiful. Take 1 more round of breath here. Okay, so we're not so worried about the hands. It's all about the movement in the sit bones. Try to sit back. Use an inhale to lift the gaze. Exhale, walk the hands to the top of the mat. Step back, downward dog. Let's do the other side. So left heel extends, step the foot, revolve the back heel down. Walk your hands to that diagonal. Okay, good. And then don't get so worried about how far you can reach your hands forward. Okay, reach a little bit forward and then send the sit bones behind you. Okay, so it's not about the upper body. We're stretching into the groin, the inner thighs, the outer hips. Good. Notice your front knee. Okay. If this posture is talking to you, settle into the conversation. Notice. Okay. If the inner knee of the front leg is drawing in, everyone peek at your inner knee. Then press the inner knee away from you and try to sit back a little bit deeper. Good. Okay. All right. 1 more round of breath here. Good. Okay. And then begin to lift the gaze. Okay. Walk the hands top of the mat, back heel lift, step back, downward dog. Everyone good? All right. Okay. On your next inhale, lift the heels, lift the hips, and shift your heart forward, come into plank. Pause. Okay. So notice if you readjusted as soon as you come into plank. Okay. If you had to readjust your hands, keep those hands once you come into your downward dog. Okay. So hug the upper arm bones towards one another and then draw them back. So heart extends forward, belly draws in, inner thighs lift, heels reach away from the shoulders, shoulders reach away from the heels. Good. On your next inhale, send the hips up and back and use your exhale to soften. Good. Inhale, float the right heel towards the ceiling. Step the foot in between your hands. As soon as you land that foot, back heel stays lifted, squeeze the feet towards one another. Good. Use that stability. Lift from the back of the heart, rise up, and then reach the fingertips to the ceiling. Good. Keep reaching as high as you can. Zip up from the low belly, in and up through the low ribs. Good. Keep the feet hugging towards the midline. We bend into the front knee as the back inner thigh lifts. Back heel stays lifted. Good. Take a deep inhale, reach the fingers, turn the palms forward, exhale, release. Step back, downward dog. Other side. Left heel extends and reaches. Step the foot in between your hands, squeeze and hug. Once you have that, come on up. Okay, and then raise the fingertips to the ceiling. Good. Reach as high as you can. Good. Okay, find that lift. Keep the back heel lifted, inner thigh reaches up towards the ceiling. We bend into the front knee and we squeeze everything towards the midline. So front hip draws back hip draws forward. Beautiful, guys. Use your inhale, lift even a little bit higher, and then exhale, palms forward, release the hands down, step back, downward dog. Inhale, right heel to the ceiling, step the foot in between your hands, keep the back heel lifted, squeeze, 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 and rise up. Good. Okay. Inhale to reach, palms forward, exhale, plant the hands, stay here, and then step the front foot straight back to a plank. And pause. We're in plank. So clot the fingers. Okay. Upper arm bones draw back. Hug towards the midline. Inner thighs lift up. Beautiful. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then use your exhale, hips up and back. Inner heels down. Other side. Left heel floats. Step the foot in between your hands. Keep the back heel lifted. Hug and squeeze. Use that stability. Rise up. Once you're up, fingertips to the ceiling. Good. Reach on an inhale. Exhale, palms forward, plant the hands. Step the front foot straight back to plank. Notice if you readjusted. Try to get those little adjustments out. Good. Arm bones hug and draw back. Belly draws in, inner thighs lift. Good. Use an inhale. Hips up and back. Exhale, inner heels down. We're going to put all that together. Okay, so we go high lunge. We release the hands, we step straight to plank, and then we go back to downward dog, and then to the other side. We good? Let's try it. All right, on your next inhale, right heel floats. Exhale, step the foot in between your hands. Inhale, squeeze, rise up. Palms forward, exhale, hands to the mat. Step straight to plank on your inhale. Exhale, hips up and back, other side. Inhale, float the left leg. Don't worry if you're at the same pace, squeeze and rise. Good. Turn the palms forward. Exhale to exit. Step straight to plank. And then use your inhale to go into your downward dog. Exhale, heels. Good. Other side. Inhale, float. Step. Rise up on your inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step straight to plank. And then go to your downward dog, right to the other side. Good. As soon as you step through, squeeze and hug to rise up. Soon as you're up, prepare to go down. Plant, step straight into that strength, and then go into your downward dog. Right to the other side, no pause. We're not pausing. Keep moving at your own breath pace. Good. Okay, notice those moments where you pause, okay, especially when you go back into your downward dog. As you shift your hips back into your downward dog, already be thinking about the opposite heel reaching towards the ceiling. Let the breath get fired up, guys. Good. Beautiful. Okay, one more round each side. Okay, so if you're on your left side, that means one more round right, one more round left. Good. Once you've completed your last round, let yourself settle back into your downward dog and go into child's pose for a moment. Okay, just notice the breath, notice what that fired up. Good. Okay, come back to your downward dog, just a moment's rest. All right, right heel raises, extend the foot, step the foot in between your hands. Keep the back heel lifted, revolve the back heel down, rise up, warrior two. Good, settle into the front sit bone. Take a peek at the front inner knee, press it away from your baby toe. Good, draw the belly in, lift the heart. Good, okay, travel to the back foot. Press the outer edge of the foot into the mat. Inner thigh reaches away from you. Good. Okay. Stay here nice and solid and strong with the legs. Okay. Release the back hand to the back thigh. Flip the front palm. Good. And then reach the fingers. Nothing else moves. Okay. Just the fingers reaching. Beautiful. Notice if you pull back on the front knee. Settle into the front knee. Let the sit bone get heavy. Yes. Now reach the knee away from the top fingers away from the knee. Beautiful, guys. Good. Take a nice inhale here. Use your exhale, come back to your warrior two. Inhale, reach the fingertips away from you. And then exhale, sweep the back hand around, release, step back, downward dog, back heel lifts, other side. Float the left heel, step the foot, revolve the back heel down. Okay. Rise up. So press into the outer edge of the back foot, inner thigh presses away from you. Settle through the front sit bone, settle through the front knee. Take the knee towards the baby toe side. Good. Belly draws in and up, heart stays lifted. Soften the shoulders, soften the gaze. Good. Okay. Release softly, back hand to the back thigh. Flip the front palm. Nothing else moves. Use the arm like a lever. Reach the fingertips to the ceiling. Once you're there, settle once again into the front sit bone. Try to reach the fingers away from the front knee away from the fingers. You can come to the front of the mat or front of the room now. Good. Beautiful, guys. Try to go a little bit deeper. Notice your thoughts. Notice your breath. Good. Take an inhale here. Try to reach a little bit higher. And then exhale, come back to your warrior two. Inhale, lift the heart and extend and reach. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, step back to downward dog. Exhale, let your heels settle. Good, let yourself soften. Okay, let's try another little funky flow. All right, shift your heart forward. And then take your right hand, place a little bit in front of your shoulder. Yes. Okay. Bring the feet together at the back of the mat. Squeeze and hug from the inner heels all the way up to the inner thighs. Once you have that, begin to revolve to the outside edge of the back foot and then bring the left hand to your waist. Pause here. Pause here. Good. Okay. Lift from the bottom hip, bottom rib cage up towards the ceiling. Okay, you can keep with your hand at your waist or reach the top hand up. Good. Send your gaze down. Release the top hand down. Come back to your plank. Downward dog. Other side. Take a moment. And then shift forward once again. Okay. Once you're there, feet come together back of the mat. Left hand a little bit in front of the shoulder. Revolve to the outside edge of the left foot. And then bring your right hand to your waist. Good. Lift from the bottom hip up towards the ceiling. Press the mat away from you with that supporting hand. Keep your hand on your waist or reach the fingertips up, 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 up. Good. Take an inhale here. Turn the top palm forward. Use your exhale to come out. And then find your downward dog. Okay. Good. Let's start to add on to that funky one. So shift yourself forward, okay? Side plank, right side. So hand goes in front, feet squeeze towards the midline. Good. Okay, once you're there, lift from the bottom hip up. All right, now let's lift the top leg off, bend the knee, and then reach to the inside of the baby toe or big toe to hold on to the foot. Just see what you can, so the knee draw towards the chest. We're not going into candy cane. Knee draws towards the chest. Yep, that's okay. We'll be doing this again. Once you have that bind, bring the foot to the top of the mat. Good. Let the back heel revolve up. Come into high lunge prep. Good. So release the bind and step back, downward dog. Okay. Other side. So shift, readjust, squeeze and hug, revolve. Okay. Take a moment, press the ground away from you, everything's solid, and then begin to draw the top leg. Okay, so lift and then draw the knee towards your chest. Reach through the inside of the big toe with your peace fingers, grab a hold, grab a hold. Once you have that, bring the foot top of the mat, let the body go with you, release the bind, and then step back, downward dog. Yes, how'd that go? Let's try it one more time. Okay, shift yourself forward. Set yourself up into your side plank. Draw the knee towards you. Find your bind. Once you have your bind, plant the foot. Release the bind. Lift the back heel. Hug the feet towards one another. Now this time, rise up, high lunge. Good. Turn the palms forward. Release out. Downward dog. Other side. So reach and extend. Opposite leg. So you're sitting down? You're sitting? Oh, okay, you need to stand. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, keep moving. Sorry, guys. Keep moving. Okay, find your bind. Bring the foot top of the mat. Pause for a moment. Release the bind. Hug the feet towards one another. Use that stability. Rise up. And then release, downward dog. Good. Okay. We good? I'm going to take that as a yes. Okay. All right. So let's try to see what happens when we flow that. Okay. Yes? Okay. Okay. I know everyone's sweaty. Okay. Back to your downward dog. Take a nice deep inhale here. Open the mouth. Exhale. Let it go. Again. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Open the mouth. Exhale. Inhale. Shift your weight forward. Come into plank. Right away. Squeeze and hug. Go up into your side plank. Bend the knee. Find your bind. Step. Release. Squeeze. Rise up. Palms forward. Hands down. Step back. Downward dog. Right to the other side. Shift your heart forward. Revolve. Reach, bind, bring it, squeeze, rise up, palms forward. Good, downward dog. Other side again, shift forward. Side plank, knee to chest, find the bind, step it forward. Good, do what you can. Good. Rise up to your high lunge, you release out. You go back to your downward dog, and then you do the other side. Just see what happens. Play and explore. Good. If the bind is too much, just keep moving. Stay with the plank to high lunge, okay? Or move between downward dog, side plank, back to plank to downward dog. Good. Okay, wherever you're at. If you've gone to the side that brings your chest open to the exit, finish off that side, and then come into your downward dog. Whew. Beautiful work, guys. Okay. Let yourself settle for a moment. Find that breath. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Start to send your gaze forward, lift the heels, and then walk your feet to your hands. Okay. Once you're in your forward fold, let yourself soften. Okay. Knees can be bent. Let the crown of the head release down towards the mat. Good. And then let's go ahead and take the feet maybe, come to sit bone distance apart. So we're coming into more of a wide or a wider forward fold if you brought your feet together. Good. Okay. All right, so we're going to do one last little flow. Okay, so bring your fingertips to the ground. Use an inhale, extend the heart forward. So we're coming into a half lift. Exhale here, stay here. So drag yourself forward with your fingertips. Draw the upper arm bones back. Okay, good. Sit bones extend back as the heart extends forward. Beautiful. And then use your exhale, soften, release, and bend. Good. Let's do that again. Inhale, come into your half lift, extend the heart forward. Exhale, bend the elbows, soften. Again, inhale, extend the heart forward, hip bones back. Exhale, bend and soften. Okay. Again, inhale, extend the heart forward. This time, as you exhale, bend the knees. Okay, but keep with your fingertips to the ground. All right, so we're in like a little baby chair. Bend your knees. Bend your knees so you're sitting back. Yes. But you're staying with the fingertips, trying to drag yourself forward. We didn't lose that integrity. Good, 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 good. Okay. Beautiful. Maybe even send your gaze like 2 handprints in front. Good. Okay. Use an inhale, send the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Use an exhale, bend the elbows, soften and fold. Inhale, extend the heart forward, drag yourself forward. Exhale, bend the knees. Stay here. Now this time, inhale, reach just the upper arm bones up towards the ceiling. Stay here. Stay here. Use an exhale to settle. We're in a baby chair. I know. Last flow, guys. Last flow. So we don't rise up. We stay super low. Okay? Turn the palms in, thumbs up, and try to lift the thumbs up towards the ceiling. But don't let the chest lift with you. Good. Inhale here. And then exhale, fingertips to the ground, hips up to the ceiling. We're going to put that together. Inhale, extend the heart forward, half lift. Exhale, bend the knees. Good. Inhale, sweep the arm bones up. Exhale, hands down, hips up, fold. Again, inhale, extend the heart forward, hip bones back. Bend the knees as you exhale. Inhale, arm bones lift. Exhale, release. Keep moving. Okay. Use your inhale to come into the half lift. Use an exhale, bend the knees. Then we use an inhale to lift the arm bones up, and then an exhale to release. Keep moving. 2 more times for you guys. Use your breath to guide the movement. Okay? We're not sweeping the hands back and using that proportion to move us. So when we bend into the baby chair, it's just a simple movement. Lift from the upper arm bones. Nothing else moves. Good. We use the exhale to soften. Okay. Once you've completed your last round, and stay in your forward fold. Let yourself soften. Let the head release. Okay. You can take ragdoll, whatever feels good in this moment. Beautiful. Okay. If you're in your ragdoll, release your hands to the mat. Start to heel toe your feet a little bit wider. We're going to come into Malasana. Turn the toes out, heels in. And then begin to lower sit bones. You can use a block if you have it, or a pillow rolled up underneath your sit bones. Good. Okay. Once you're here, snuggle the upper arm bones into the inner knees, inner shins. Bring your palms together. Press into the palms. Okay. And then draw the thumb towards your heart. Okay. And then find your softness here, whether it's with your gaze, your jaw, your eyes. Okay. If your heels are lifted, you can roll up the blanket and place it underneath your heels. Good. Okay, stay in your Malasana. You can release your palms. Okay. Take your left hand and reach it towards the ground. Okay, use the back of the arm to the inner knee. Press and resist. Okay, and then float right hand up towards the ceiling. I do suggest keeping your gaze neutral. Okay, now what will happen is the right knee will draw in. Take the inner knee away from you. Good. Try to extend and lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale here. And then use your exhale, soften and release. Go into the other side. So snuggle, snuggle, reach. Once you have that, press and resist, and then float. Good. Okay, notice if it's tension in your neck. If so, release your gaze down. Let your head and jaw and eyes be soft. Move the inner left knee away from you. And then release. Good. Go ahead and reach the hands behind you. I haven't found a fluid way to come out of this. Take a moment. Extend. Extend. Let that go. Shake out the legs. Whew. All right. Okay. Start to bend the knees out to the side. Come into Baddha Konasana. So draw the heels towards your groin. Soles of the feet come together. Aiden, if you want, you can go have a seat over there. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Once you have yourself here, take your hands behind you. Okay. Lift yourself up. Send your butt back like you're just hovering. Let it settle down and then slide forward. So we come more onto the sit bones. Good. Okay. Hug the feet towards you and then press the knees away from you as you try to reach the inner knees, inner shins down towards the ground. Good. Use an inhale, extend, lift up out of the pelvis so heart reaches up. Okay, you can stay here and exhale or begin to bend through the elbows to fold. So we're staying in an active posture here. Okay, inner knees, reach away and down towards the ground. Keep extending the heart forward and let the head soften. Beautiful. Lift the gaze, lift from the back of the heart, okay? Lift your torso all the way up. Keep your left foot where it is, extend right heel away from you. Good, okay? So once you have that, you can readjust the sole of the left foot towards the right inner thigh, okay? That little adjustment we made in class, so you can reach down through the inside of the front thigh, outside of the front thigh, and then draw down. Good. Flex the foot. Use your fingertips. Lift up out of the pelvis so we find that space between hip bones and low ribs. As you move forward, walk your hands forward with you. Good. Okay, you can use the ground. Use that connection to the ground to try to draw yourself forward. Okay, and soften. Keep the foot flexed, keep the toes drawing towards you. Even try to work the inner thigh down to the ground. Good. Okay. On your last round of breath in this one, just let yourself soften. Let everything soften. Okay. And then begin to lift your gaze, lift from the back of the heart, walk the hand back. Okay, take this bent knee, sole of the foot to the outside of the right thigh. Good. So we're coming into a twist. And then you can stay with your knee where it is or bend the foot. Good. Beautiful. Bring the left hand behind you. I had to think about that for a minute. Okay. Press into the ground to lift up. Okay. And then move from the back shoulder. So draw the left shoulder behind you. Don't worry about the right hand, the right arm. You can hold on to your knee. Okay. You can bring the elbow to the outside of the top leg. Beautiful. There's a way, there's a way. Okay, start to turn your chest and heart towards the front of the room, unravel. Okay, that little funky twist that we did, remember when we moved and revolved? Okay, a little funky disco twist. Okay, bring your hands, you're gonna turn your heart towards the exit, and then go for it. Place the hands towards the back of your mat, turn, turn, turn. Come into your twist on the other side. That's okay, good. All right, once you're there, readjust whatever needs to be readjusted. Now take your right hand behind you. Okay, so rest just in front of the sacrum, tailbone, and then press. Press into the fingertips to lift the spine. Draw the elbow and shoulder behind you. Okay, left hand can rest, left arm can rest wherever works for you. Okay, lead this movement from the shoulder. Okay, find softness in the jaw, the forehead, even in your breath. And then come back to center, begin to unravel, okay? Unbend and extend. And then hold the ankle and draw the sole of the foot to the inside of the leg. So Janu Shirsasana, other side. Okay, so readjust if that adjustment works for you. Okay, to move the thigh bone, flex the extended foot. Okay, use the fingertips, press into the ground to lift up out of the pelvis, lead from the heart, fold forward. Good. We keep extending the heart forward. Okay, foot stays flexed and the jaw softens. Okay. So if you kind of get caught up in you have to hold on to the foot, but you lose the integrity of flexing the foot is falling out to the side, be aware of that. So draw from the inner thigh, inner shins down towards the mat. And then one more round of breath here, but let everything soften. Let the ankle release. If you have a bind, let it release. Back of the heart, really soft. And use your next inhale, lift the gaze, walk the hands back, good. And then exhale, extend the bent knee, good. Okay. Now take your knees out to the side. We're going into butterfly, but a wide butterfly. Okay, you can have space between your sit bones. Then take a moment, find your sit bones and move the flesh away. Good. Okay. Lift up out of the pelvis and then begin to walk your hands forward and fold. You can hold on to your feet. You can place the hands to the ground, whatever kind of works for you. Okay. So two options here. You can stay as you are in this posture. It's a beautiful place to be. Okay. Let the back of the neck open, the head releases. Or you can hold on to the top of the feet or top of the ankles and shins. Okay. Use that bind to try to draw yourself forward. So I hold on and I try to bring my heart forward. Okay. And then I soften. All right. You may feel kind of lines of energy running from outside of the hip down through the knee, down through the ankle. You may feel one side, both sides. You may feel nothing at all. Okay. All are amazing places to be. Stay here for one more round of breath. And then begin to lift your gaze. Walk your hands back. Okay. Bring your hands to the outside of the knees. Draw the knees towards you. And then come onto your back. Once you're on your back, take a moment to shift your knees side to side. Okay, so soles of the feet will be to the ground, knees are bent. Beautiful. Okay. And then draw the knees towards your chest. You wrap your arms around your knees, give yourself a little hug. Good. Beautiful. Then open the arms out to the side. Allow the knees to release to the left. Okay, and turn the tip of your nose towards the right. Okay. And then whenever I get into this posture, I always like to readjust my feet a little bit more. There's always ways to find a deeper kind of settling into a posture. At the top thigh and knee, get heavy. You begin to draw your knees back to center. Okay, shift around, find your neutral spine, and then release the knees to the opposite side. And turn the tip of your nose and chin towards the mirror. Let yourself settle. Let the upper arm bones release. Let the weight of the top leg settle. Begin to bring your knees back to center. Okay. And then give yourself one last little hug here. You can roll around, shift around. You can stay into stillness. And then find your way into your Shavasana. Okay. If you have a blanket or a pillow nearby, you can use it underneath your head. Begin to settle. Using this time to allow everything that you explored, all your movement, the energy to settle back into your body. So you can tap into this strength, you can tap into this energy, you can tap back into this softness when you need it as you move throughout your day. Begin to bring your awareness back to your breath. Use that awareness to invite movement back into the body. You can move through the fingers and the toes. Invite movements into the ankles and the wrists. Begin to grow this movement by drawing inner shins and inner thighs towards your midline. You can reach your hands behind you. Come into a supine stretch. And then from that space, begin to bend your knees. And bring yourself onto your right side. You can use that bottom arm as a pillow. Let yourself settle. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles and softens and makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. And I remember again that life isn't a relay. That we will all cross the finish line. And that waking up for life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget and catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. As many times as I forget and catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going, that many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. Use your top arm for support. Bring yourself up and find your seat. And once you're there, settle. Let your hands rest wherever feels natural to you. And even allow yourself to round through the spine. Let everything soften. Let the jaw soften. Just take a moment to settle into this space, settle into your center, into your strength, into whatever grounds you. And then as you're settling into that space, find softness. And begin to lift the heart, Reach up out of that center, out of that grounding, out of that strength and softness. Grow the spine. Bring the palms together in front of the heart. Taking a moment to honor your body, honor this movement, this time of giving and receiving, and each other. You can begin to release your palms and softly blink open your eyes. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. How's everyone feeling? Okay, good. Mellow. Mellow is good. I like mellow. Okay. So you can move with that sense of mellow. You guys can leave your mats where you are, all right? And then have a break. Go off into the mystery and find whatever you find. Okay. And thank you so much for joining us. And thank you, Flavia, for joining us. No, it's okay. I think it's a part of the Tulum DNA. Yes. Okay, so it is 10:20 now. Please be back at 10 to 11, please. Thank you all. Thank you.
Like if I needed to get a cab from down here.
Yep. The caretaker could probably call